Hello and welcome to my very first NAT-A-CHEF video. Get it? Not a chef. I actually started cooking around 2 years ago when I first moved out of my mom's apartment, and I've shared this with you guys a lot, but I've been cooking a lot more, especially during quarantine, and so many of you guys have been asking for me to make this a series. I've shared a couple of my recipes or me cooking in vlogs, but I wanted to make these videos individually so you guys can have a place to actually look for whatever you want to learn or cook. Today's recipe is going to be on pastelitos de pollo in the air fryer. I have been obsessed with the air fryer, especially because I like everything fried, and this is just a healthier way to continue to eat fried food, so I'm here for it. It also makes everything cook a lot quicker, cleaner, and healthier. By the way, disclaimer, I know that in different countries they call it empanadas, not pastelitos, but in Dominican Republic, at least where I'm from, we call it pastelitos. Empanadas are like the corn one. So first things first, let's jump right into the chicken and seasoning it. All right, so here are all of the ingredients. You will be needing corn oil, oregano, adobo, but we no longer promote or use Goya, so I put it in this little bowl because I'm finishing the bottle. No waste over here. And we have garlic right here, the chicken, and the Fe Empanadas dough. If you're wondering, these were in the freezer and I was defrosting them, but this is the brand that I like. You will also need a magic bullet. You can do it by hand as well, but I'll use this to chop up the chicken or triturar el pollo. I don't know how to say that in English. And then of course my air fryer and a pan to cook the chicken in there first. All right, so here I have my pilon and the garlic. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. All right, so this is what it should look like, and I'm just going to put it right here. I have my adobo, just season it, and the oregano. This I do like to put it in my palms and then do like this because it gives it more flavor. And then just mixing it all with your hands. All right, turning on the stove and then pouring the oil and putting the chicken to cook. I do like to close the lid just because chicken actually throws out its own natural water, and I feel like it cooks better that way. So I'll leave it here for about 5 to 8 minutes and then I'll come and flip it. So it's actually been less than 5 minutes. I'm just going to quickly flip it. It's hard to show, but I actually poured in a little bit of water in there to cook better. By the way, I give you guys a warning, but if I don't use the proper terms for food or cooking, please don't blame me. All right, so I'm going to get the chicken out now, just because I think it's been fully cooked. So now I'm just going to put it in the magic bullet. The way that I like to do it is I take the chicken and with a scissor, just start chopping it in there. I like to do it little by little just because sometimes it can get hard to blend when it's too much. Here is what it should look like, and I'm going to do that for all 3 pieces remaining. All right, and here is the last bit of the chicken. All right, so now onto the pastelito. I like to take the dough first and then put it right here. I also have a little bit of water already in like a little thing, so I put water around the edges, and then I take a little bit of the chicken and pour it in. You don't want it to be too packed or too full because it's just harder that way, to be honest, to close. And then with a fork, I'm just going to go around. I like to flip it and do the same thing. So again, take the dough, a little bit of water around the edges, then take some chicken, put it in the middle. You can also make pastelitos de carne de res, de queso. I like to mix pollo and queso together. Oh. So the trick is doing it slowly and then taking it from one side to the other to fold it. Let me put the chicken back in. And then with the fork, you go around the edges. Wow, New York City is just awesome outside. Can you guys hear that? If you are vegan or vegetarian, you can also just fill it in with whatever you want. And then if you're vegan, just change the dough for something like, you know, without eggs. Then, okay, folding it in half. All right, last two, and we're just going to mix it with cheese since they're a little empty. God, now it's too packed. Great. All right, so here is what the pastelitos look like after they're done. The best part is that you can freeze them and cook them throughout the week, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cook half of them. All right, so the trick of making pastelitos look crunchy and not dry when making them in the air fryer is adding a coat of oil. I am going to be using ghee oil and just using this brush and coating both sides. All right, so now for the air fryer, I'm just going to start putting them in. Make sure they're not overlapping like that too much. I'm just going to do 2 at a time because I don't want them to overlap. And now for the temperature, I am going to be doing air fry 325 for 15 minutes. And then throughout it, I will be flipping it. I'll come back and check it half the time. All right, 5 minutes. This is what they look like. Just going to flip it. 3 minutes left, and I think I'm going to be adding a couple more minutes just because it's not fully toasted like I want. All right. And they are done. This is what the first 2 look like. Now I'm going to put the other 2 to cook. And since the air fryer is honestly trial and error, I'm going to be doing the same temperature, but this time 20 minutes. Alright, so I am finally done and it looks so good. I tested out the time, to be honest with you, because sometimes like it just fluctuates. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but the temperature that I used was 325 for 20 minutes. You can add or reduce the time if you want. Now to eat it, I personally like adding my special sauce, which is the pink sauce, ketchup and mayo. Love this. I added it to this little tube and it has my name because Eric has his own separate one with sriracha. Let's try out one of them. I'm going to add a little bit first. I don't know if you could see it, but I'm going to add a little bit inside. Right, I ended up putting it back because I was making a mess, but it turned out delicious. It's definitely a must try. It is one of my favorite recipes to make. It's so quick and easy, and it's also amazing to make whenever you have guests over as an appetizer or just to quickly make throughout the day if you're hungry. I hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. Let me know in the comments below which other NAT-A-CHEF videos would you like to see in this new series. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!